You open your phone. You read the headline. You already know what you think. You scroll down, not to find out if you're right, but to find the line that proves you right. You skip the part that doesn't fit. You don't even notice you did it. Why? Not because you're stupid, not because you're closed-minded, because of a glitch that's been documented since 1960, and that no school ever taught you how to neutralize. It's called confirmation bias, and here's how researchers proved it twice. 1960. Peter Wason gave volunteers 4 cards on a table. Each card had a letter on one side and a number on the other. The cards showed E, K, 4, and 7. He told them a rule. If a card has a vowel on one side, it has an even number on the other. He asked them which cards they had to flip to test the rule. Almost everyone flipped E and 4. Almost no one flipped 7. The right answer was E and 7. Flipping 4 can only confirm the rule. Flipping 7 can break it. Your brain looks for the cards that prove the rule. It doesn't look for the cards that could prove it wrong. 1979. Charles Lord ran the same experiment with adult opinions. He showed people studies on capital punishment. Half the studies supported it. Half opposed it. Both sides, supporters and opponents, read the same data and walked away more convinced of what they already believed. That's the confirmation trap. Here's the line to remember. Your brain isn't trying to find the truth. It's trying to defend the position. You don't seek information. You seek confirmation. Every headline, every conversation, every fight you've ever had. Your brain quietly filters reality through the filter of what you already decided. You've been arguing for an hour. You're not actually listening to each other. You're both scanning for the next thing you can use against the other person. They say one sentence. You've already started building your counterargument. They mention a small detail. You've already filed it away as ammunition. Notice what your brain is not doing. It's not asking, what if they're partly right? It's collecting evidence. Confirmation bias turns every disagreement into a court case where you are both the prosecutor and the judge. And the verdict was decided before the trial started. Open your phone. Notice what your feed is showing you. The accounts you follow, the headlines you stop on, the opinions in your timeline. They all sound a little different. They all say the same thing. The algorithm didn't build this echo chamber. You did. Every swipe up on a post you disagreed with, every quiet unfollow after a dissenting comment, every "I'm just not interested in that anymore." You trained the system. The system trained you back. And now neither of you can tell the difference between what's true and what's familiar. Think about the person at work you've already decided is incompetent. Watch what your brain does the next time they speak. The moment they say something reasonable, you ignore it. The moment they say something fumbled, you remember it for weeks. You're not assessing them anymore. You're confirming a verdict you reached 6 months ago. The reverse is also true. The person you decided is brilliant gets a free pass on the same mistakes. Confirmation bias is why first impressions are so dangerous. They aren't first impressions. They're permanent verdicts that quietly defend themselves. Three tools work in the lab and in real life. Tool 1. The Devil's Advocate Test. Before you defend a position, force yourself to write down the 3 strongest arguments against it. Not the weak ones, not the ones you can easily knock down. The 3 strongest, the ones that genuinely make you uncomfortable. If you can't generate 3, You don't understand the disagreement. You're just defending. Lord's 1979 experiment showed something important. People who were forced to consider counter-arguments adjusted their views. People who weren't doubled down. The simple act of trying to argue against yourself breaks the loop. Your brain can't continue defending and genuinely opposing at the same time. Tool 2. The Source Diversity Audit. Look at the last 20 pieces of media you actually engaged with. Articles, podcasts, tweets, videos. Now ask yourself one question. How many of them disagreed with you? If the answer is one or fewer, you're not informed. You're insulated. The fix isn't to follow accounts you hate. It's to follow one or two thinkers you respect who disagree with you on substance. Not on style. On substance. They'll point at the data you've been skipping for years. They'll force your brain to do the work it stopped doing. You don't have to agree with them. You just have to read them. Tool 3. The Steel Man. The opposite of a straw man. Before you argue against someone's position, restate it back to them. In the strongest, most charitable, most accurate version you can manage. So strong they say, yes, that's exactly what I meant. If you can't do that, you don't have a disagreement. You have a caricature. The Steel Man is what philosophers and good therapists do automatically. It forces you to actually understand before you reject. Most fights between people who care about each other are not fights about the issue. They're fights about being heard. The Steel Man is how you make the other person feel heard, and how you discover you were arguing against a position they never held. So here's what you keep. You will never see the world clearly, while your brain is busy defending what it already concluded. The information you ignore is exactly the information that could change your life. The only question is whether you go looking for it. Quick, honest question. Of the 3 traps we just walked through, the fight that won't resolve, the feed that won't surprise you, the verdict you reached on a coworker, which one hit closest to home? Drop it in the comments. One word is enough. Naming the trap is half of escaping it. Next Friday on this channel, we decode a different glitch. Survivorship bias. Why every success story you've ever read is structurally wrong. Why we study the planes that came back from World War II and ignore the planes that didn't. Why the founder you admire might actually be the survivor of 1,000 failed founders who did the exact same thing. The forgotten dead vote on every decision you make. Hit subscribe, hit the bell. Every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we decode one bias that's quietly running your life, and the tools to take that decision back. Your brain didn't evolve to find truth. It evolved to defend a position. Now you see it. This was the Decoded. We pull behavioral economics apart. So the next time it pulls you, you'll see it coming. New Decode every Friday.